Hey guys, this is OracleDaphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do a charm reading for you guys using my new tripod. So the video actually is stable for the first time in like 10 years. I'm really excited today to do this video, and I am going to throw down the charms here in a second. I'm using this shirt to be the inspiration for this reading. I kind of have had this sort of feeling that I wanted to pull some cards and charms and see what's coming for the year of 2026. Like, what are the messages that are going to be needing to come through right now for the year of 2026, specifically around January, February, March. Not too far into it, but like what wants to come through right now, what messages want to come through right now. And so like I don't know, I was and I am intending to record the January monthly tarot horoscopes like I have been trying to do. And then I was just like, that's not what I feel like is necessary right now. So like the messages that want to come through, I feel like have to do with the future, which is why we have this t-shirt here, which is gifted to me by this cute kids shop here in Ellensburg called Cascade Kids. And this is a very special shirt because it was gifted to me during the time that I was in my car. And so I feel like it has to do with a lot of rebuilding, but I also think like if we think about life as a construction project, we can kind of get a better perspective on things that are positive and things that are negative, rather than just looking for the positive or looking for the quick fixes, or like I want this to be kind of like an open reading that's more open, that is more timeless. But I do feel that there's these messages that want to come through for the new year, for what's coming ahead, and it's not necessarily going to fit in a box. It might be for some of you watching and not for others. You're going to want to watch this video all the way through, but you're also going to want to come back in the new year and see if any of these things resonate with you then, and check it out again. Before I start, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's donated. The donation link is usually pinned underneath in the comments in the video, also in the description box. If anybody wants to send me a last minute Christmas gift or New Year's gift, you can send it to my P.O. box or greeting card to my P.O. box, which is also in the description box. There's ways to buy me coffee. The links to Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal are in the description, as well as Zelle if you wanted to donate that way. I don't take money for private readings through Zelle. There's no way that I can keep track of my clients that way. So please, if you do want to book a reading, send a payment through PayPal, Cash App. Those are the two preferred to book the reading. You can also do Zelle. So I'm gonna lay out the charms, see what I get. I also want to make note, because there's tractor on here. I had thought to use this shirt for the readings, one of the readings for my dad, and I still might do that. Those of you who want to check out the readings that I've done channeling my dad, Carl Olson, those are my favorite videos that I produce. And I just did one similar, which did have a tractor on it. It's an orange tractor. By the way, if you do see my videos, please drop a heart in the comments, or give it a like, because it helps my videos. My videos are just not getting the traction that I would really like to make it really worthwhile to do these. So please, if you can, support my channel by liking my content, or commenting, or saying something positive, or dropping a heart somewhere. Okay, let's see. The new year. Okay, so it gives me this feeling of like this flow here. Like, for those of you who can't quite see all of it, there's this there are these pieces here up around the top. And I was looking at this kind of like this is the horizon, like what's on the horizon. And we have these feathers here all lining up. So ingoing, outgoing texts, ingoing, outgoing messages, there's all kinds of tarot readers who look at, is somebody going to call you? Is somebody going to reach out? Is there going to be communication? I feel that this is less specific to people that are wanting to know, okay, what's going on with a situationship, or what's going on with their relationship, or if somebody goes to them, are they going to hear back? I feel like this is more about just communication in general, and how in the new year, there's going to be an increase in, I want to say, positive, healthy communication. We have the heart here, and positive ingoing, outgoing, communication, where it's not just a one-way communication. It's not just a one street situation, one lane street. It's, people communicating in healthier ways than they have in the past. And I think that there has been, I want to say, a strong disconnect in the collective with regards to communication for the last several years. Saturn's been in Pisces. I've talked about that in my other videos, and Pisces is the worst at communicating. They dream. They don't care so much about putting things down on paper. The dream is enough. So essentially in the new year, when Saturn leaves Pisces and there's a shifting of gears, especially when Neptune goes into Aries, there's going to be a stronger increase in healthy communication back and forth. Also, Pisces is a sign about things not getting resolved. And I feel like in the new year, there's going to be some healthy, loving conversations that you have with other people that are maybe clearing the air. I also feel with the heart here, this is where, people are exchanging maybe words of love that they haven't in the past, expressing themselves in a kind, loving way, being more compassionate towards others. I feel like that's going to increase as well, because I have to say, Pisces just has issues with communication. And I think Jupiter is going into Gemini at some point in 2026. I think it's like halfway in 2026. I don't remember when it's going into Gemini. But I think when it goes into Gemini, there is going to be a huge shift in the level of communication. Gemini is like the communicator of the zodiac. They know how to communicate. They communicate well. They communicate efficiently. They over communicate. I feel like the signs of Sagittarius and Gemini are really going to feel like a breath of fresh air when Jupiter moves into Gemini. Is it in Gemini? I'm getting confused. I think I'm talking about this. So sorry. To clarify, when I said Jupiter, I meant Uranus. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus right now, and Uranus is going into Gemini. Jupiter already was in Gemini, so sorry. Jupiter will be going into the sign of Leo. I got my wires mixed up, and so that's just to clarify, just so you guys know. But yeah, there's a need for healthy communication, and I see that on the horizon here. I also see that we have this piece, which, I picked up randomly, and it does represent fixing things. This is like a bolt, nuts and bolts to me represents putting pieces together and fixing things and getting things done. And my dad would always say, if we had a message from my dad about getting things done. And I feel like for many of you in the new year, it's going to be refreshing how much you get done. We have the bee here, and the bee, to me, it just feels very busy. For many of you, the new year feels 2026 is going to be a very busy year for many of you, more busy than maybe some of you would like. It doesn't feel that you're going to have a lot of time to think things through. It feels more like you're going to have time to work on, I don't know, fixing problems. Problem solving is going to be something that you're going to want to do, fixing relationships that are broken. There's so many things here about the breaking of relationships. Some of you, there's like, okay, so for example, like there's these two pieces that of amethysts that are broken. We have the sword piece that's broken. Okay. We have this piece here, which is like a little gold bracelet, which took me 2 years to pick up. I walked by it for 2 years and I thought, oh, it's too damaged. Oh, I don't know what it's to. Why should I pick it up? Then I picked it up and it looked like a little puzzle piece. Some of you, there's going to be things that, putting pieces together, things that are going to be coming together, as well as the letting go of the things that are not working. You're going to be really working through, like, what is it that's working in my life and what's not working for me? There's a lot of that broken pieces here. So fixing things, working things out, working things through, trying to get on the same page as like maybe a partner, or trying to get through. I am sort of seeing, there was a time where I had to, I think, call for my SNAP benefits, and I was on the phone for 5.5 hours. And it was something I was working on. It took me like all day, okay, to make that call. And then I just realized that I could have just gone down to DSHS and done it in person. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about this energy, this 2026 energy, is that you might not have the solutions in 2025 going into 2026, but you're going to figure it out. There is going to be a solution to your issues, whether it's filing the right paperwork that you need to file, or getting things done that you need to get done, or checking certain boxes. I feel like you're going to figure it out. The solutions to your problems might come in unusual ways as well. Like, I feel like there's a lot of low level chaos here, things that don't make really much sense, which can indicate like again, this sense of brokenness. For many of you in 2025, going into 2026, you're working on some repair. Okay, so we have the building of the future here. That's the theme. And the repair is that, to me, I'd say repair is a theme of 2026. Repairing your relationships, repairing maybe something that you have in your life that's not working. Working on things, getting things kind of going in a way that is more fluid, is less toxic, is more healthy. Maybe for some of you, this does speak to New Year's resolutions, where you're like, okay, the foods that I'm eating, I'm not necessarily really getting enough nutrients from. So maybe like getting on like a special probiotic or a special green juice that really works for you, or doing something health-wise that's going to really make you feel good. To me, like, 2026 is about creating a sort of level of stability and comfort and cleaning up the things that are not working, cleaning up your diet, cleaning up your living, situation, cleaning up relationships that really aren't healthy. We have this pearl here, and the pearl is one of my least favorite charms, but it's important because it shows that for many of you in 2025, you have had to have grit, okay, to get shit done, to get things taken care of. For many of you, it has been where you had to make calls that have lasted for 5 hours. So you've had to really put in a lot of hard work. I have to say that 2025 was a lot of hard work. More like, I've worked harder in 2025 than I think I've ever done in my entire life. So, I don't know, like, I feel like that is kind of going away though, because if I look on the horizon, the horizon being the building, I feel like it's clear up here. It's clear. So it's not like you're taking all of this with you, but I feel like you're gonna have to work on maybe some of issues in your past, like, looking at your past with maybe a fresh pair of eyes and going, okay, I could have done better over here, or I could have said this different, or, maybe I'd get somebody a card. The power of apologies and sorries. There's something I want to say, and I'm kind of thinking about if I want to say it. I have to say that in my life personally, there has been no acknowledgement for my life and how things went down for my housing loss and moving out of my car. There was no acknowledgement by any of my past relationships. None of my family, none of my old friends even acknowledged that that happened to me. I think with except one person who found out after the fact. So it was like none of the people that knew going into it even apologized or acknowledged it. So if I look back at my past and I go, okay, there's a lot of things that need fixing, that need acknowledging, that need work. So for some of you, you might be looking at things like that, where you're looking at the past and you're looking at past relationships and you're going, this needs work. This needs attention. This needs good communication. This needs apologizing, you know? So some of you might be either getting an apology from somebody or giving an apology to somebody. You know, the power of a greeting card, the power of a gift card, the power of like just, you know, sending somebody, you know, a box of chocolates, you know, to say, you know, hey, I effed up. I wish I could have done better, you know. Gifting gifts is important for this reason, because I feel like they can really heal things and fix things. I feel like if in 2025, and this is going to sound strange, if in 2025, your communication wasn't working, like you tried to reach out to somebody and they didn't respond or they ignored whatever you said and it didn't help, like maybe the more you texted or the more you called them, the worse it got. Like there was no response, or there was no like back and forth, or there was no, I feel like acknowledgement. I feel like that is going to change. I feel like that's going to change. I feel like, again, this level of communication, of reciprocation is going to change. We have the starfish here as one of the starfish here. Some of you, there might be a pregnancy in 2026 that comes in. And if we look at this t-shirt, this star is right over this person's heart. To me, this star represents something that you wanted. For some of you, it's praying for, you know, a child. For some of you, it's praying for something in your life to happen or to go well or to solidify. I feel like there's going to be more solid things and more solidification of things in 2026. I want to like bring out some other charms for this horizon part for 2026 specifically. We have the pebble. So again, you know, it's interesting. We have another one of these strong pieces. You know, what's on your heart is, I feel, you know, building a solid future for yourself, thinking about what you can do that's going to make things better for yourself longer term. So like, okay, for example, if you and your family have only thought about day to day, like how you can get through day to day, you know, living by the seat of your pants, that is going to change in 2026. For many of you, you're going to be looking at the longer term picture, bigger plans, much bigger plans, maybe planning a wedding, or for some of you, planning on buying a property. For some of you, you know, settling down and starting a family. These are bigger plans for 2026. 2026 feels like a year for making your dreams happen on a much larger scale. Much larger scale. Having more fun. For some of you, okay, so we have one of my earrings here, which I put in, I lost the other one, but these to me represents, you know, beauty, like doing things for yourself, maybe, but in a bigger way. So for some of you, this is maybe like buying more expensive items than you have in the past. For some of you who have lived like paycheck to paycheck for a long time or not had enough money, I feel like you're going to have more money than you're expecting in 2026. On the financial picture, this is unexpected money, bigger chunks of money, bigger plans. You're going to have more to work with is how I see it. Much more to work with. Okay. For some of you, oh, this is so funny. We have a little wings here with the car. For some of you, you're going to be driving someplace very fast. Like your level of speed in 2026 is going to really kick up. You're going to be driving much faster. You're going to be getting things done faster. Things aren't going to be as stuck. Things aren't going to be as stagnant. You're going to be really hauling it in 2026. Now, I also feel like unexpected money is going to come in once you have a solid foundation. So some of you are going to be working on your root chakra. Some of you are going to really be settling down, and it's like all this money is going to start to really come in when you are settled and grounded. I also feel like money is going to come through a wide variety of sources. So I don't necessarily think that you're only going to be making money through one thing. I feel like for many of you might develop a side hustle that gets really big. For those of you on social media, this might be a year where your social media gets really big. I feel like there's also healing in a very, very deep way, because we have this piece, which is actually this broken wing. And this broken wing to me means hurt, deep hurt. But this would be like in reverse. It would mean deep healing. For many of you, you're going to be picking up the pieces. You're going to be of your life in 2026 and doing a lot of deep healing that you have not done. For many of you, this is getting into, working with a counselor who's amazing. For some of you, getting really great medical care. For some of you, really being like, okay, I'm going to work on my finances and save up for a new car. For some of you, it's chunky. It's chunky stuff, the big stuff that you're going to be checking off boxes in 2026 and getting a lot done. Going back to what I said. I don't know. It's really interesting to see what's on the horizon, because it's different than what I was expecting. I also feel like you're going to be closer to spirit than you ever have in 2026. You're going to be really working with your guides to create stability for yourself if you don't have it as much. For many of you, if you're looking for a job, I definitely feel job is going to come in for many of you in 2026. I also feel that you're going to be having more fun. We have this piece here, which is about sports, this little mitt here, which is usually about a player type person. But I feel like even if you hook up with someone who maybe might be like a player type person, you're going to be happy with the result. Because it's like, I don't know, like you're just kind of going to let your hair down, I think, a little bit in 2026 and have more fun and do things that are more fun and maybe be a little bit more spontaneous. It's really cool to see, actually. It wasn't what I was expecting. Okay, I have to leave off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give it a like and drop a heart. And I send everybody big hugs, big kisses. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye, guys.